There are moments in life when pain hits so deep it shakes the foundation of who you are. It's the kind of pain that makes you question everything, your purpose, your strength, your direction. You wonder why life had to be this hard, why things had to fall apart, and why the people you trusted had to walk away. It feels unfair, unbearable, and unending. But what if the pain isn't here to destroy you? What if the pain is here to develop you? What if what's breaking your heart is also building your strength? See, we often think pain is a sign that something's gone wrong, but sometimes pain is a signal that something new is being birthed. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in pressure, in tears, in silence, and in surrender. You can't evolve without being stretched, and you can't be stretched without discomfort. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. It's shaping you into the kind of person who can carry the weight of purpose with grace and wisdom. You may not see it now, but there's purpose in your pain. That heartbreak that tore you open, it's teaching you compassion. That disappointment that crushed your plans, it's redirecting your path. That season of loneliness, it's showing you how to stand on your own. Pain is a teacher that refuses to be ignored. It speaks the language of transformation. It says you can't stay where you are, there's more in you. And sometimes it takes being broken to realize you were built for more. You may not understand the why right now, and that's okay. You don't have to have all the answers to trust that there's meaning in what you're walking through. Every tear, every sleepless night, every silent prayer, it's not wasted. Pain has a way of uncovering what comfort hides. It shows you what you truly value, what truly matters, and who you're becoming in the process. It strips away the superficial and leaves you with the authentic. It humbles you, grounds you, and refines you. Pain introduces you to your power. It forces you to find strength you didn't know you had. It teaches you endurance, resilience, and faith. The same pain that made you question your worth will eventually remind you of it. The same situation that broke you will one day be the testimony that builds others. You're not going through this for nothing. Something inside you is being redefined. You are being stretched, yes, but not to the point of breaking, to the point of breakthrough, so don't despise this season. Don't rush to escape it. Learn from it. Let it shape you, because the very pain that feels unbearable right now will one day be the proof that you were strong enough to survive what should have destroyed you. One day you'll tell this story from a healed place, and you'll see that it all had purpose, that it was making you into someone unstoppable. This pain is not your ending, it's your awakening. It's not here to bury you, it's here to bloom you. You may not see it yet, but something powerful is being formed inside you. When the pain finally passes, you'll rise wiser, stronger, and more aligned than ever before. Because even in your breaking, there is purpose. And that purpose is leading you straight into becoming everything you were created to be. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. When you're in a season of pain, it's easy to believe you've done something wrong. You start to question every decision, every step, every prayer. You wonder if maybe you're being punished, if somehow you deserve the ache that's sitting in your chest. But pain doesn't always come as consequence. It often comes as construction. It's not here to take from you, it's here to build you. The pain you feel is not meant to destroy your purpose, it's meant to prepare it. There's something inside you that's being shaped through this process, something that couldn't be formed any other way. Preparation never feels like progress while you're in it. It feels like pressure, confusion, and sometimes even chaos. But what you don't realize in the middle of it is that pain has purpose written all over it. You may not see it now, but you're being equipped, strengthened, and refined for what's coming next. When life breaks you open, it's making room for what's meant to grow. When you lose what you thought you couldn't live without, it's creating space for what you truly need. Pain is not the end of the story. It's the chapter that strengthens your foundation so that you can handle the next one. Every person who carries purpose has had to carry pain first. It's the weight that builds your spiritual muscles. It's the fire that purifies your intentions. You can't lead with depth if you've never walked through the deep. You can't comfort others if you've never learned how to comfort yourself. Pain develops empathy, endurance, and understanding. It strips away the shallow parts of who you were so that you can stand in the fullness of who you're becoming. What you think is breaking you is actually making you unbreakable. Sometimes preparation feels like loss because what once worked for you stops working. The doors that used to open easily start closing, the people who once stood beside you start pulling away, and the things that once gave you comfort start to fade. It hurts, but that's how growth works. You can't hold on to everything and still move forward. Pain removes the unnecessary so that purpose can move freely through your life. What feels like rejection is often redirection. What feels like an ending is actually a transition into something greater. If you could see what pain was preparing you for, you'd stop running from it. You'd see that every moment of discomfort is shaping your strength, every heartbreak is softening your heart in the right places, and every delay is developing your discernment. The process is never easy, but it's always worth it. You're not being punished, you're being positioned. The pain is molding your character so that when the promise arrives, you can carry it with integrity, humility, and strength. Without the preparation, the blessing would crush you, but because of the preparation, you'll know how to sustain it. So don't let the pain convince you that you're being punished. Don't mistake the fire for failure. You're being refined, not rejected. You're being prepared for something greater than you can imagine. One day, when you look back on this season, you'll realize it wasn't meant to hurt you. It was meant to heal you into someone stronger, wiser, and more grounded. The pain is not here to end you. It's here to equip you. And when the time comes, you'll step into your purpose with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they were built in the fire, but came out gold. Growth is born in discomfort, not comfort. You cannot become who you're meant to be while staying in the same space that kept you safe. Comfort feels good, but it doesn't stretch you. It allows you to stay still, to settle, to keep repeating the same patterns because they're familiar. But growth doesn't come from familiar, it comes from friction. It comes from being placed in situations that test you, that shake you, that push you beyond what you thought you could handle. Discomfort is not a sign that something's wrong. It's often a sign that something's changing. It's the stretching of your soul, the widening of your perspective, and the strengthening of your spirit. When you're being stretched, it doesn't feel empowering. It feels painful. It feels like you're being pulled in directions you didn't ask for. You question why things have to be so hard, why the path couldn't be easier. But what you don't realize is that the pressure is producing something in you that peace alone never could. Comfort keeps you in cycles, but discomfort propels you into growth. Every time you face a challenge, you're building emotional, mental, and spiritual muscles that will carry you into your next season. You're learning how to stand stronger, love deeper, and think clearer. There's something about discomfort that wakes you up. It forces you to evaluate what you've been tolerating, what you've been settling for, and what you've been ignoring. It reveals the areas in your life where you've become too comfortable with average, too content with less than you deserve. When life begins to get uncomfortable, it's often a divine nudge saying it's time to move. It's time to grow, to let go, to step into something new. That tension you feel is not there to torture you. It's there to transform you. You'll never know how strong you are until you're placed in a situation that demands strength. You'll never know how much faith you have until you're faced with uncertainty. Growth doesn't come from knowing what's next. It comes from trusting yourself enough to keep going when you don't. The moments that make you uncomfortable are the moments that teach you who you really are. They peel away the layers of fear, pride, and limitation. They show you that you are capable of far more than you ever believed. Discomfort also reveals what truly matters. When you're stripped of everything that made you feel secure, you discover what's real and what was temporary. You learn how to build your peace on something deeper than circumstances. You start to understand that growth isn't about achieving something. It's about becoming someone. It's about aligning your mindset, your heart, and your habits with your higher purpose. That kind of growth doesn't happen when life is easy. It happens when you're pushed into places that make you question, stretch, and evolve. So, when everything starts to feel uncomfortable, don't panic. Don't assume you're being punished. Understand that you're being expanded. Growth doesn't ask for your permission. It demands your participation. It pulls you out of what's familiar so you can reach for what's possible. It's supposed to feel awkward, messy, and uncertain because you're outgrowing the version of you that no longer fits. One day, you'll look back on the seasons that felt the hardest and realize they were the ones that taught you the most. You'll see that every moment of discomfort pushed you closer to your destiny. The pain you felt wasn't random. It was the labor of transformation. Growth doesn't bloom in the comfort zone. It blooms in the stretch, in the challenge, and in the willingness to endure the in-between. You're not being broken, you're being built. Every moment of discomfort is shaping you into the stronger, wiser, and more powerful version of who you were always meant to become. What broke you is also building you. The very thing that brought you to your knees, the pain that shattered your peace, the loss that left you breathless, it's not the end of you. It's shaping you, molding you, and teaching you in ways you can't yet understand. Sometimes life has to break you open to reveal what's inside. The breaking doesn't mean you're weak, it means you were chosen to rebuild stronger. It's hard to see it while you're in it, but the pieces that feel scattered are being rearranged into something more powerful, more resilient, more aligned with who you were created to be. You see, breaking is not always destruction. Sometimes it's construction in disguise. When life breaks you, it's usually removing what was never meant to last, false identities, shallow foundations, misplaced dependencies. It's stripping away the parts of you that were built on fear, people, pleasing, or comfort. The breaking hurts because you're losing what's familiar, but what's breaking is often the barrier between who you are and who you're becoming. You can't evolve without first being undone. Growth begins the moment you stop clinging to what cracked and start trusting what's being created from it. Painful seasons have a way of revealing your strength. You don't realize how much endurance you have until you're forced to walk through fire and keep moving. You don't realize how much faith you carry until everything around you falls apart and you still refuse to give up. What broke you is not breaking you anymore, it's building endurance, compassion, and depth. It's teaching you that resilience doesn't come from escaping the storm, but from learning how to stand in it. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every disappointment is a chisel, carving away the old so the masterpiece can emerge. You might still feel the ache of what you've lost, but even that ache has meaning. It's proof that you felt deeply, that you loved, that you lived. The breaking season taught you how to sit with pain without letting it define you. It taught you that healing isn't about pretending it didn't happen. It's about allowing it to make you wiser. The person you were before the breaking could not have handled the person you are becoming. Every scar is a story of survival. Every tear a testimony that you kept showing up even when it hurt. The breaking builds awareness. It opens your eyes to what truly matters and shows you how to move with intention. It helps you separate what's temporary from what's eternal, what's toxic from what's true. It gives you a new sensitivity toward others who are still in their breaking, because you remember what it felt like to stand in those shoes. What was meant to destroy your spirit ends up deepening your soul. You learn to rebuild not from desperation, but from clarity. You learn that healing isn't returning to who you were, it's stepping into who you were always meant to be. So if you're in a season of breaking, don't assume it's the end of your story. You are not being buried, you are being planted. The same ground that feels heavy today will one day be the place where you grow. What broke you was necessary to break the limits around your thinking, your worth, and your courage. You're learning that nothing truly strong is built without first being broken. One day, you'll look back on what tried to destroy you and realize it was the very thing that built your foundation. The breaking wasn't your undoing, it was your awakening. The cracks didn't ruin you. They let the light in, and from that light, you are becoming whole again. Every tear is watering something greater. It doesn't always feel like it when you're crying, when your heart aches so deeply that words can't explain it. But those tears are not wasted. Every time you've cried in silence, wondering if anyone noticed your pain, wondering if your struggle had meaning, something was growing beneath the surface. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Your tears are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign that your heart is still open, that you're still fighting, that you're still believing for something better even after being hurt. Growth often looks like grief first. The tears you cry are watering the soil of your future, making it fertile for what's about to bloom. Nothing grows without a little rain, and nothing strong is born without a little breaking. The same way a seed must be buried before it can rise, your tears are part of that process. They are softening the ground around your purpose, preparing it for the harvest that's coming. You might feel like you're in a season of loss or confusion, but something powerful is taking shape beneath the pain. Your tears are not ending something. They're nurturing something new. When you cry, it's not just about sadness. It's release. It's your soul exhaling. It's your body saying, I can't carry this alone anymore. Those moments of release are necessary because they cleanse you from the inside. They wash away bitterness, pride, and fear. Every tear is watering strength, humility, and faith. The things that broke your heart are the same things teaching you how to love with wisdom, how to stand with grace, how to rebuild with courage. It's in those moments of breaking down that your spirit learns how to rise. You may not understand it right now, but there will come a time when you'll look back and see how even your crying was part of the process. Each tear carried a lesson, a release, a shift. Each moment of pain was shaping you into someone who sees life differently, someone who values peace, someone who loves deeply, someone who fights wisely. The tears are watering not only your growth, but also your empathy. You're becoming someone who can comfort others because you've walked through the valley yourself. Your tears are turning into testimony. It's easy to believe that tears mean you're falling apart, but sometimes they mean you're falling into alignment. Every drop is washing away what no longer belongs and making room for what's meant to come. The things that made you cry are often the same things that will later make you strong. You'll realize that you didn't break, you blossomed. You didn't lose, you learned. Every moment you thought was wasted in pain was actually preparing the soil for your purpose to take root. So don't be ashamed of your tears. Don't hold them back out of fear of looking weak. Let them flow because they're proof that you're human, that you care, that you're still capable of hope. Every tear that falls is watering your resilience, your clarity, your strength. The more you release, the more you make room for healing. One day you'll see that what felt like endless rain was growing something beautiful in you, something only the rain could bring. You may not see the garden yet, but it's coming. The tears that fell in the dark are producing fruit that will shine in the light. Every tear has a purpose, and none of them are wasted. They are watering dreams you can't yet see, preparing joy that will one day replace your sorrow. What feels like breaking today is actually blooming tomorrow, and when the time is right, you'll see that the tears were never for nothing. They were the beginning of everything. Pain reveals strength you didn't know you had. You never truly understand how strong you are until life gives you no choice but to be strong. It's in the seasons where you feel completely undone, where everything familiar falls apart, that the hidden power within you begins to surface. Pain pulls something out of you that comfort never could. It awakens courage you didn't know existed, perseverance you didn't think you had, and faith that refuses to give up even when everything looks impossible. Pain doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to expose what's already inside you waiting to rise. There's a part of you that only pain can reach. The version of yourself that walks through the storm isn't the same one who entered it. Pain forces you to dig deep, to look beyond the surface, to find something solid when everything else shakes. It tests your limits, but it also expands them. You begin to realize that the things you once feared didn't destroy you, they refined you. Pain takes you to places of strength that peace alone can't build. It's through endurance that character is formed, through tears that wisdom grows, and through struggle that purpose becomes clear. When you go through something that breaks you, it changes your perspective. You start to see what really matters. You stop wasting energy on things that don't serve your peace. You learn that strength isn't always loud or visible. It's quiet, steady, and unshakable. It's the kind of strength that wakes up every morning and tries again, even when your heart still hurts. It's the kind of strength that forgives, that lets go, that trusts that somehow even this pain will turn into purpose. You begin to understand that pain doesn't define you, how you respond to it does. There are moments when pain will whisper, "You can't take this anymore," but even then, there's something inside you that whispers back, "Yes, I can." That's the strength you didn't know was there. It's buried beneath the doubt, the fear, the fatigue, but pain uncovers it. Pain is a teacher, though its lessons aren't easy. It strips away illusions and brings truth into focus. It reveals your resilience, your patience, your ability to rise again when everything says you shouldn't. You realize that surviving was not weakness. It was the ultimate proof of strength. Every trial you've faced has trained you. Every setback has stretched you. Every heartbreak has refined you. You are not the same person you were before the pain came, and that's the point. Pain transforms. It reveals the warrior spirit within you, the one who can walk through fire and come out glowing, not burned. You start to see that the strength you prayed for didn't come wrapped in comfort. It came wrapped in challenges. But now, because of that pain, you stand taller, think clearer, and love deeper. When you reflect on what you've endured, you'll realize that what you thought would destroy you actually developed you. You learned how to breathe through the pressure, how to fight with grace, how to find beauty even in the breaking. Pain introduced you to the strongest version of yourself, and even though you didn't choose it, you can be grateful for what it revealed. It showed you that you are built for more than you imagined. The same pain that once made you question your worth is now the proof of your resilience. You didn't just survive, you evolved. The strength that pain revealed will carry you through every season that comes next, and no matter what you face, you'll know that nothing can truly break you anymore, because you've already discovered the power that lives within you. This season of breaking is leading to breakthrough, the pain, the confusion, the waiting. It's not wasted, it's not random. It's the tension before transformation, the storm before the calm, the labor before the birth. You may feel like everything is falling apart, but what's really happening is that everything is shifting into place. The breaking is not meant to destroy you, it's meant to release you. It's pulling you away from what no longer serves you and pushing you toward what's been waiting for you all along. Breakthroughs don't come wrapped in comfort, they come wrapped in challenge. Every breakthrough begins with breaking. Think about it. A seed must crack open before it can grow. A diamond is formed under intense pressure. Even the dawn breaks before light fills the sky. Your breaking season feels unbearable because it's stretching you into someone who can handle what's coming next. It's separating you from old patterns, old mindsets, and old limitations. You can't step into your next chapter carrying the same fears that belonged to your last one. The breaking is the process that prepares you for the blessing. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Sometimes breakthrough doesn't look like what you expected. It's not always a sudden miracle or a dramatic shift. Sometimes it's the quiet moment when you finally decide you won't go back to what broke you. It's the inner strength that rises when you stop asking, "Why me?" and start saying, "I'm ready for what's next." The breaking season pushes you to that point, to surrender, to trust, to grow. It strips away distractions until all that's left is you and your purpose. And in that space, breakthrough begins. You may not realize it right now, but the breaking is refining your character. It's teaching you patience, humility, and endurance. It's helping you discover your power, not the kind that comes from control, but the kind that comes from faith. When everything feels uncertain, that's when transformation starts. You begin to see that what you thought was the end is actually the transition into something higher. Breakthrough doesn't come when everything is perfect. It comes when you choose to believe there's purpose in the breaking. The most powerful moments in life often come right after the hardest seasons. The tears, the disappointments, the silence, all of it is creating space for the new thing to be born. The breaking season removes what's fragile so that what's strong can remain. It clears the path for your breakthrough to unfold. You might feel like you're losing control, but you're actually gaining clarity. You're learning to let go of what was and make room for what will be. You're realizing that pain and progress often walk hand in hand. Breakthroughs are rarely comfortable. They stretch you, challenge you, and sometimes isolate you. But when you come out of it, you'll see that it all made sense. The lessons you're learning now are preparing you to handle blessings with maturity, not fear. The strength you're building now will sustain you when things begin to accelerate. The people and opportunities that seem to be leaving your life are making room for what truly aligns with your purpose. You're not being punished, you're being positioned. One day you'll look back on this breaking season and recognize it as the moment everything began to shift. The pain that once felt unbearable will make sense as the foundation of your breakthrough. You'll realize that you didn't break down, you broke through, you didn't lose, you were being led. Every difficult moment was a step toward freedom, healing, and purpose. The breaking didn't take you out, it brought you closer to who you were meant to be. And when the breakthrough arrives, it won't just change your situation, it will change you.